I ended up discovering that you've got to figure out how to sell things. People that prosper and to get way ahead in life usually figure out how to sell things. 9 to 5 is very challenging to create the good life. The good life, I've discovered, was obtained by figuring out how to sell things. Welcome to another Rags Riches Secrets. All right, today what we're going to cover is how to think and attract wealth. This is a must listen, must see, must watch, okay? You know, on this podcast, I talk all the time about how to create the good life, how to create the good life. Like, you wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't have interest in creating the good life. Now, we might all define the good life slightly different, but I tell you what the good life for me is. I want to be able to be in Hawaii with my wife multiple times a year on the beach, having vacations, and still making money regardless of where I'm at on the entire planet. And the thing is I want to focus only on the things that create happiness in my life. And so when I look at this, I'm trying to break down, like, what are the key nuggets or key secrets that you could take and tap into that allows you to create the good life. Now, I'm going to take and walk through 3 things for you so that you can start seeing and understanding how these laws come into play. And as soon as I show it to you, you're going to understand immediately that these are laws, they are in effect, but not everybody actually understands it. Because they don't understand it, they wind up not obtaining prosperity. This is really what I hope for you to be able to do. Like, for example, I just got back from Hawaii, 2-week vacation, right? We just got done yesterday scheduling our next 2-week vacation. I already got it planned out. I got several trips planned out throughout the year. And so here is 3 things that would allow you to attract to yourself and to obtain what you want to have present in your life, okay? So number 1, everything operates on a frequency. Now you might be saying, Mike, what kind of mystery or secrets inside that? Okay, that's what, like I said, once I point it out to you, you're gonna understand that these laws are actually in play. You just gotta figure out how to apply them towards helping you. Give you an example. Think about it. Like, there are frequencies buzzing around the entire earth. They're surrounding you right now. You actually have in your pocket a frequency tracker. Now, you might have a cell phone that's like AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, whatever it is, okay? So now you have to ask yourself this question. This is a profound question. There are millions of cell phones on planet Earth, probably billions, but I'm talking just here in the United States, there's millions of them. Why is it that somebody can dial a phone number and your pocket buzzes? Why is it? Because that device in your pocket is designed and tuned specifically to be able to receive an incoming call that was designed and intended for you. The universe is no different. Think about wire transaction. There is money swirling, trillions of dollars moving around the entire planet all day long. Question is how do you attune to it so that you could start obtaining that wealth? Now, do a little exercise with me. So if you're driving, visualize it. If you're not driving and you're in a spot where you can stop and think, do this. Take and look around you. How many things can you see surrounding you right here, right now are red? Look for red. Where do you see red? Red, 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 red. Okay, close your eyes. Is your eyes closed? Okay, now tell me how many things you identified that are blue. Now you might struggle because maybe you didn't necessarily identify the blue things. Here's what I do know. You saw more red things than blue things. And what it is because I tuned your frequency. I tuned your channel to identify red things. Whereas in the end, I flipped it on you and I said blue. So like in this case, you could say blue was wealth, but you were trained on not finding wealth by looking at the red. So we've got to figure out how to tune frequency. I'm telling you, wealthy people operate at a different frequency. They think different. They operate different. You can see this very specifically in just simple examples of every time you buy a car or get a different car, you now notice that those cars are everywhere, where previously you might not have seen it because you became tuned in to that very specific frequency. So we're starting to say, okay, wealth has a frequency. Prosperity has a frequency. The good life has a frequency. Now I want to obtain what it is. Now this steps into number 2. I talk about the good life. Now when I talk about the good life, I'm talking about being on the beach multiple times a year with my wife. I'm talking about taking epic vacations. I'm talking about doing epic trips every single weekend, okay? Having the freedom to do that. So now what it is you got to figure out what is the thing that you very precisely, very specifically want so that you would know that this is the good life. This is what I want to do. This is the, like if you're a painter, this is my Mona Lisa. This is the thing that I want to paint. But until you know what that is, it's challenging to obtain it. Let me give you an example. So let's say you walk up to at the ticket counter to get a flight. And what if the person at the end of the counter, you walk up and you say, hey, I'd like to buy a plane ticket. And they're like, okay, cool. Where do you want to go? I don't know. I just want a ticket. They're like, look, that doesn't help very much. Where do you want to go? And then I can help you get a ticket. This is what we do. We're like, I want a good job. Like what? Like, okay, so you want a good job. Like that's basically the equivalent of walking up to the ticket counter and saying, like, I want a ticket, right? But if you said, I want to go to Miami, Florida, that person can very specifically help you get from A to Z. They can say, oh, well, you don't want just any plane. You don't want just any flight. You want this specific flight, which will take you from here to Miami. Then you can close the gap. The universe operates the same way. If you want something, you have got to say, like if you believe in God, if you believe in infinite intelligence, or whatever it is, you have got to be very clear on what it is that you want and say, universe, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want to obtain. Maybe you don't want to do things quite like I do. Like you don't have to follow my path. You can follow a path that gets you exactly what you want to create your good life, okay? Now, it's not just about placing the order. This is not wishful thinking. This isn't, I'm wishing for an order. This is, okay, I placed the order. I believe that I could receive this order. Like, think about it. If one man or one gal could obtain $1 billion, why does that mean that two people couldn't? It doesn't. Two people could do it. You just got to think about it. If somebody else has already obtained what you want, it is possible. You have to believe it is possible that you could obtain the exact same thing. You've got to figure out how to create belief, because here's what happens. So your subconscious mind, this thing is designed and it listens to what you think and what you believe. You're writing the script inside your mind. Here's a mistake we make right here, right now, okay? We talk about, I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't, okay? When you use those words, you say, I don't want a job. Guess what you're going to have? You're going to have a job, because the subconscious mind, it does not know how to say don't want and want. It just recognizes job. I want a job. And then it will cause you to focus on it and you'll obtain it. You will obtain precisely where energy goes. Like where your focus goes, energy flows. So if you don't want a job, you will get a job. If you talk about war, I don't want war, you're going to get war, okay? It's critical that you use words of belief. Like, I believe that I can this. I believe that I have. And then you have to see it, visualize it, see it in your mind, know that it is true. And as you obtain the belief, remember the frequencies, we're tuning the subconscious mind to give us and to deliver opportunity to us that we specifically want, okay? Which then will slide off into step number 3, is you will have to, now that you've got your antenna tuned, now that you've clearly stated what it is that you want, then the opportunity is going to say, here's you an opportunity. But if you've got to be tuned to it, to pay attention to it so that you can reach out and grab that opportunity. So you can reach out and grab that opportunity. Let me give you a story. Let me show you kind of how this played out in my life, okay? So I am in red hot pursuit of the good life. That's precisely what I want. You know it, I've told you about it. I want the good life, okay? So what I discovered is the way to obtain the good life, in my experience, was to start figuring out how to sell things. Like when I was working at Raytheon Missile Systems, I was an employee, I was a cog in a wheel. They took as a senior material program manager. I was making a good living. What I wasn't doing is living the good life. I was working 9 to 5, I was trapped. So then the big question is how can I obtain this opportunity? And as my antenna became tuned, I ended up discovering that you've got to figure out how to sell things. People that prosper and to get way ahead in life usually figure out how to sell things. 9 to 5 is very challenging to create the good life. The good life, I've discovered, was obtained by figuring out how to sell things. And I'm like, okay. So I started selling stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Started making the money. Boom, 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 boom. But then here's the question. It's like, how could I obtain the good life while I'm sitting on the beach in Hawaii? How can I obtain the good life when I take my side-by-sides and we're out riding around in the desert or having a good time or in the mountains or wherever it is that we take them? How is it that I could generate sales even though I'm not present? Now, the magic is what is this e-commerce, this internet stuff. Follow the story, because I'm showing you how I discovered and how I wound up where I'm at, okay? The thing I discovered is Amazon, or like the internet, will generate sales 24/7. Some people are night owls. They're up at night. That's when they do their shopping. Some people are daytime people. That's when they do the shopping. Like some people work swing shifts. So that means that in the morning that they're available, or maybe like late afternoon, they're available to buy. Everybody has different times of buying. And the big thing is how do you present your offer to them in a fashion where it is right there, right then, when they could take and buy now? And the thing I discovered is Amazon is probably one of the best, no, not one of the best, it's the best online retail sellers on the entire planet. Here's what you know about Amazon. They're generating so much money in sales. They're generating $1.6 billion a day in sales. Let me break that down a little bit farther because 1.6 billion, it's hard to fathom, okay? They're generating $18,500 in sales every second. Think about it. Every second of your day. The fact that I just explained this right now, every single one of those seconds was $18,500 in sales. That is a machine that sells like a son of a gun, okay? Like, if you think about it, when I say I want the good life, I want to be able to make sales on Christmas morning when somebody opens up a basket of, they've already got stuff, but they want more stuff. I want it to be on like holidays, like 4th of July. How many of you guys want to go out and start trying to knock doors or talk to somebody on the 4th of July to generate sales? See, you don't. You want to be enjoying your own 4th of July. But here's what I know. People on 4th of July will pull out their phone. They will start looking and saying, man, I wish I had some stuff. I'm barbecuing right now. My barbecuer has got some issues. I need this. Hey, I want to be doing this and I don't have this thing. They'll have a minute right then and there where they're not preoccupied with work, where they have a second and they can pull out their credit card and they can start buying stuff. And I said, I want to be the guy that can sell them that product right then and there when they're willing to buy now. How do I do that? And that's where the answer came in. It's like, holy cow. If I start putting stuff on Amazon and generating sales on Amazon, I can start generating sales 24/7. Now, wait a minute. I could be sleeping and generating sales, right? And so after you got that in place, then you're like, I wonder. See, when you got a store, you put stuff inside the store, there's limitations on how much product I can personally put inside a store, okay? And then the next question is wait a minute. How could I get more products inside the store? And then the thing is, it's like, Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to figure out how to generate sales 24/7. That's where the good life's at, right? But they don't know how to do it. What if we managed their entire store for them so they didn't have to actually do anything, but then we created a rev share model where we would participate and they would participate so they could actually be our partner and generate the good life like we are. Boom, shakalaka. Alpha Wealth Secrets is born, but it would not have been born had the antenna not been tuned to figuring out how to generate the good life. So you got to think about that. If you're in pursuit of the good life, you've got to ask yourself, what frequency is the good life operating on? What frequency are the people that are crushing it? What are they operating on? And then they became very, very clear exactly what it is they want to receive. And then they paid attention because the opportunity will be presented. But if your antenna is not tuned, it'll just go, just go right over your head. Like deals and opportunities and all kinds of stuff pass you by. And you're like, man, I want the good life. You got to tune the antenna. See what I'm talking about? Once you get that bad boy tuned, then you will start seeing magic. Then the universe can start delivering to you what you deserve. You just have to give it the opportunity to recognize those opportunities as they're coming at you so that you can reach up. I can grab that one, and I grab that one, and I can grab that one. And next thing you know, you've closed the gaps between where you are and where you wanted to be. That, my friends, is Rags to Riches Secrets. You can go to my website, alphawealthsecrets.com. Check it out. Maybe this is the right opportunity for you. Maybe it'll give you a chance to reach up and grab some cash flow. Figure out how to start making sales 24/7 without actually having to manage the store. That's how I figured out how to 28 times my income, my equivalently hourly income, by figuring out how to generate sales without actually having to be there present to make it happen. That, my friends, is the Rags to Riches Secrets, and I will talk to you later.